Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. Usually here on the channel we do pick a card readings, but I just had this intuitive prompt to sit down and do a collective reading, which I don't even know if I've ever really done, but that's what we're going to do today because there's a message that wants to come through from Spirit and it wants to come through right now. So I don't know what this topic is. I don't know what this message is, but we're going to find out. So I'm going to set the intention for this reading to find its way into the timelines or into the feeds of those who need this message or who are aligned to this message. And let's go ahead and find out what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to intuitively select the decks that are calling. Let me turn this around. Select the decks that are calling, that have a message in this reading. That one kind of bent in my hand. I like this deck, but it's kind of creepy. Immersion, strong, powerful forces at work here. Time to sit out and watch things unfold. Step back and find a safe space to observe. There will be time for actions later once things have settled. So there's clearly some strong, powerful forces that are at work here. And when I sat down to do this reading, I felt the nudge. I was just sitting on the couch. I had just finished editing another video and I wasn't planning on doing any more work today. And I got this nudge, it's time. And I saw 10:10 on the clock. And I was like, okay, so there's something about divine timing here. And the lights are kind of flickering and the cards in the piles that I have next to me just moved. So there's some very powerful unseen forces here. And I think that being able to take a step back and not feel creeped out, because the deck that they had me choose here is one that does kind of give me the creeps. I don't know why, but this imagery just, for whatever reason, it's the style of the artwork. It's a little creepy and ominous. So it may feel like there's something ominous creeping up on you, or there's something unseen. It's giving me those paranormal shows, paranormal activity stuff, or Ghost Hunters, something like that. It's kind of giving me that vibe. Yeah, and they're directing me to the decks that are kind of intense. So strong forces here. Finding a safe space. So this could be even about protection, taking action to get centered is kind of what it feels like, settling into your own energy. There's time for action later. Right now, it's about kind of immersing yourself in, I'm hearing a bubble of protection or a bubble of white light. Okay, so let's do that together right now, group. Let's do that together right now, collective. Let's just expand the white light out around us. Visualize a bubble around you. Make it as big as you can. Fill the room. Fill it with white light. Heart center anchored into the chest. Yeah, because there's something energetically. Maybe it's been I'm hearing disturbance in the force, like a Jedi thing. You know how Jedis can just feel okay, something's happened. Energetically, something has happened or something has shifted, and they're bringing me back to the number 10:10 again. So it feels like there's kind of a culmination point happening, or there's a changing of the guard. I just got that message, changing of the guard. Okay, what is this? 3 of Swords. Something, yeah, I said anchor it into the heart. We have the 3 of Swords here, which is usually a heart being stabbed by 3 swords. But instead it's an apple here. Okay, they're showing me somebody, in movies when somebody puts an apple on someone else's head and then throws a knife at it. It's like a knife trick. But it's dangerous. So there's what is this? There's some dangerous energies here. But it's kind of if you just stay steady and you don't panic or you don't freak out, it can't hurt you. Yeah. 8 of Pentacles reversed. Things might feel like they're crumbling down, or you need to take action right now. And Spirit is saying, stop. I'm hearing just watch, just wait. Because there's something that's about to go down. What is this? What is about to go down? I saw 444 on the recording time, and then all these cards just dropped. Okay, let me see. What do we have here? Got the 9 of Swords. This anxious energy. So if you're feeling anxiety, or if you've been feeling something kind of like prickly in the background, but not really sure what it is or where it's coming from, this is what Spirit wants to talk about today. We've got the Two of Swords as well. It feels very much like sit and wait. Don't make a decision right now. Don't take action. There will be a time for that. It's just like staying in this safety bubble for now, and then things will make sense. We have the Six of Cups reversed. This to me is feeling like sensitivity. So again, it's like you're sensing something going on behind the scenes. We have the King and Queen of Swords. King and Queen of Swords. But they're both reversed. So there's some distorted energy here. Six of Pentacles reversed as well. Two sixes and then a king and a queen reversed. This feels like a challenge of some kind. I'm not sure what it is, but we're going to find out. Let me get some channeled messages. I was prompted to create this deck yesterday, and I feel like it's got some information. The Law of One. Wow. If you're not familiar with the Law of One, I highly recommend checking it out. There's a free site called thelawofone.com, I'm pretty sure, and it has all the transcripts, but there's also books available of it on Amazon. But specifically, the Law of One is like a law of the universe. It's the law of unity. Everything is one. So I think this is where I'm hearing Jedi Master. Why is Star Wars coming up so heavily in this reading? That's interesting, but there's something about like this the disturbance in the Force. There's the disturbance in the Force, and the Jedi Masters are feeling it. So I have a feeling that this reading is going to be for the Lightworkers, the Chosen Ones, the 144,000, the Star Seeds. This is for the souls who chose to be here and who came on volunteer missions. And we're getting an update. Okay, so this is kind of like a collective update for the Lightworkers in the community around finding a safe space to observe what's about to happen in the collective. There's something that's breaking down, is what they're showing me. It could be an economic crash, and this can cause a lot of anxiety. I'm hearing through the roof. Okay, so anxiety through the roof, or the collective roof is going to be blown off of something. And they're showing me the roof here being on fire in this card. There's like a little house there with the eye crying. Wow, what? This is such an intense deck too. So I'm hearing the law of exchange, or the law of the law of equal exchange. They're showing me this one like chicken and the egg. There was like a problem. I'm hearing conundrum. There was some kind of a problem, or a conundrum financially, or in the culture, or this could be even reflected in your life, collective. Whoa, that's just flipped over. Okay. Nonchalant. We're being called to be nonchalant about this. Collective, you're being called to be nonchalant about this. Like, just remain calm, basically. Pretend everything's fine is what I just heard. And they showed me the meme of that little guy who's sitting in the room on fire, and he's like, this is fine. Okay, like the world might seem like it's burning, but we're being advised to just remain calm, because there's something that the world needs to be immersed in this way. It's like there's something about the collective that needs to shift right now. Enslaved. It's breaking the enslavement of the financial system. And this could be showing up in your life, collective. Like, this could be showing up in the form of like financial changes, or I did just hear stock market crash. Oh shit. I really hope that's not true, but it needs to happen. I'm hearing something about like it needs to happen, but I'm hearing collective heartbreak. So people are going to be freaking out who don't know why this is happening or what to do. Like I don't even know what to do. What are we supposed to do? Simplify. And I heard back to basics. So I don't know if this is coming up right now, or if this is at some point in the future or what, but this is not meant to spark fear. Okay. So like, don't let this become something that triggers you. If it does trigger you, just look at that fear and remember to return back to that law of one principle, back to the law of exchange. They said, okay, so maybe this is like going to trade again, or I don't know, some kind of services, like services principles. They just keep saying, sit out and watch things unfold. Like, watch from the sidelines. Don't get involved. Don't try to rescue people. Oh my God. See? Exchange. Confirmation. This is exactly what they're telling me. Back to the law of exchange, they said. Back to the law of exchange. Does this mean, Spirit, does this mean that humanity is going to be going back to like a barter system? Not all the way, they said. Not all at once. Not all of you. Okay. So and what they're showing me clairvoyantly is kind of like the stock market crashes. They're telling me GDP. I don't know what GDP stands for. Something about, oh, they said gross domestic product. Is that what it actually stands for? I will look that up later. But anyway, something about the price of products, or like the corporations crashes, like the system is crashing. The system is, they're telling me it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. I'm also hearing the word uprising. Oh yeah, enslaved. There's going to be an uprising? Oh my God. Okay. And what is this? Buried. I heard the truth was buried as soon as I looked at the card. The truth was buried and it's coming to light, and it's going to blow the roof off of things. People are going to be pissed. We're just meant to hold space, collective. Like, we're just meant to hold space. So don't feed the fear. Don't like run out and start panicking or anything like that. Just, yeah, we don't have to like bulk buy freaking toilet paper or peanut butter or water or whatever. No, it's not going to be like that. It's just going to be sort of like it's like the pebble that starts the rock slide or the avalanche. And I'm hearing Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Something about landslide. A landslide of sales, people like selling off shares in companies, something like that, or buried under a landslide. Buried under a landslide. Oh my God. I don't know what this is. I mean, I do, but I don't, you know, like I can feel what they're giving me, but breaking point, it's a breaking point. Humanity, they just said, humanity is reaching their breaking point in the upcoming timeline. And they're telling me that the 1010, for those of you who have been seeing 1010, or if you start seeing 1010, this is like the approaching breaking point. This is I'm seeing they're showing me something snapping. Yeah, the breaking point, literally. But like they showed me something snapping. The straw that broke the collective camel's back. That's what they just said. Now they're also showing me a needle in a haystack. So it's like something was buried. Something important was buried, information or something like that, and it's revealed or it comes to light. Immersion, like, what? This is going to be revealed steadily and then all at once. And that just reminded me of the movie Everywhere, Everything, All at Once or something. I've never actually seen that. What is it called? Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I have to watch that. They've been kind of telling me to do that. Being buried, but no, we're meant to focus on just being and holding space for collective shift. They said, don't worry about your money, because I just thought in my head, I'm like, what about money? Like, how are we going to survive? How are we going to eat? They're like, don't worry about it. It's not going to be, this is not going to be directly affecting everyone in the same way, but collectively it is going to be a catalyst. They're telling me it's a jumping off point or a jump off point. Okay. Childhood. Childhood fears or anxieties could come up around this. And that's why we're being prepared, or you're being prepared, collective, to face. I am hearing cataclysm, but like it's not life-threatening. Let me just say that, okay? Small steps on the bottom. It's not life-threatening. It feels like, oh, I'll take those. Yeah. It's not life-threatening, but it feels triggering. Like it does feel triggering for everyone on some level. Oh, look at that. $100,000. So if you were concerned about money, don't worry, because it's like there's going to be a breaking of the chains somehow. It just remain calm. They keep showing me that person like daggers being thrown at them, but just stay still, because you can trust that spirit has really good aim. They're not going to miss. You're not going to get hit by a dagger, and it's all part of the show is what I'm hearing. It's all part of the show. Exchanging $100,000, something. We got a sage and salt. Oh my God, this is all about cleansing and protection. And I was kind of feeling that, like, as soon as I jumped into the reading and I started seeing the lights flickering and stuff moving around me, I was like, do I need to like sage and protect? And then we did that white light thing. So yeah, do some protective stuff if you can. Transform and labyrinth. Wow, this is going to transform the system. And I'm hearing rat race with the labyrinth. It's going to transform the rat race. Powerful forces are at work here, and this is divinely guided. It's divinely guided. And I don't think that this is happening right now. I feel like this is preparatory. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Energetically, it feels like this isn't happening now, but it's going to be happening at some point in the future. 10 or 20 years, they're telling me. Okay. So I'm filming this in 2024. So this could be happening in like, I don't know, 2034, 2044. But we're meant to be prepared for this like way far in advance, or we're going to be getting something to be able to sustain others. I'm hearing to sustain others. The law of one, giving to others, exchanging, transform. What is this? Okay, we got some more. Letter in the mail. And they said 100,000. Free money. Or freed from the money struggles, freed from the enslavement of, I just keep hearing like the rat race, something about that, getting out of the grind or the hustle, or having to exchange your time for money. I think for those of you who are called to this reading, you are being shifted into a different career or a different way of earning money, or you're going to receive a large sum of money that is going to help you to actually simplify. So instead of using that money to expand and like buy a bunch of cars or houses or whatever, like, no, use that money to pare down, simplify. I did hear invest, but since they're talking about the stock market crashing, maybe not there, right? Like, or maybe you invest and then you get out right before it dips or something. I'll take some more I'll take a different deck out and see. 8 of Swords. I heard collective fear. Knight of Pentacles regarding money and how to move forward, how to exchange fairly. Queen of Cups, I'm hearing new regime, whole new system. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles, that's like the $100,000. It's leading to more wealth over the long term. But it's like the system needs to break down for it to come back strong or to be rehabilitated into a new form or new structure that's more aligned with the law of exchange. That's what they're telling me. So it's like the currency reaches a breaking point, and they're showing me it's global. It starts in the US and then it's like there's a domino effect and it goes everywhere. They are specifically showing me that China, what is it? Yen or something? They're showing me that China's money, their currency actually stays fairly stable. out of all the world population. So maybe there's something about that. Okay. And we have the King of Wands. This feels like trades and services. It feels like entrepreneurship. It feels like being able to be valued for your skills rather than your time, which is, it's kind of like the same thing, right? Like when we go and work at a job, we are doing a skilled labor for money, but we're doing it in terms of time. And what I'm seeing here is like, it's not about the time that you give. It's like if you, in this new system, it kind of feels like you get rewarded. I'm hearing something about rewarded for the either the amount of effort you put in or the results that you get, or both. So if you did it in an hour, but you put in a lot of effort and it got a lot of results, or both, then you get $100,000. Whereas in the old system, you'd have to put in like, I don't know, like 40, however many hours. I don't freaking know anymore. I can't do math, but like you'd have to put in a bunch of different, you'd have to do a lot more work physically over a time period. Yeah, so something about that. It's like it's changing that. Seven of Swords, lies are coming out. I'm hearing the word deceit. So yeah, and this is what the Seven of Swords talks about, but I heard it. So this is transforming something. Fear is being cleansed and cleared from the collective. I'm hearing fears around security. I did just hear universal wages. Oh, that would be sweet. But like universal basic income, and then being able to earn what you want on top of that on more of a like a fair exchange, skill or effort instead of time, something like that. Now they're showing me the movie. What is that movie with Justin Timberlake where money is time? I can't remember, and they're telling me the word currency. And they're saying don't sell yourself. Okay. The Hermit. Working from home. The Lovers. Exchange. Again, I'm hearing exchange. The law of exchange. They just keep saying that. The law of exchange. The law of exchange. Miracles now. Miracles now. I heard that, and this is the deck, so miracles now. Manifesting miracles. I allow people to witness their behavior so I can help them move beyond it. Okay, so this is what's happening collective. The world is going to go through a massive up level, but to do that, there needs to be this breakdown first. You know, it's like a collective dark night of the soul, and it's financial, and it's scary. The security of millions is threatened, I'm hearing, but those who are protected from it are meant to hold space for those who are struggling. And part of that is going to be energetic. Part of that may be financial. So some people may be thrust into larger means, more money, so that you can provide shelter, I'm hearing. Yeah, the roof. They're telling me the roof. Like put roofs over people's heads, or call for change in the government or something. I don't know, but there's something about allowing people to witness. Like the collective needs to see what doesn't work. And our role as the volunteers, here to help, here to serve under the law of one, is not to interfere, right? It's like that's the prime directive, is that we can't directly interfere because we don't work from the law of service to self, which would be, you know, countering things through the obstruction or manipulation of free will. The law of one operates through service to others, which is that you cannot interfere with someone else's free will, but you can hold space. You can hold love. You can hold compassion. You can support. You can give freely. And it's up to others how they receive that. But I'm seeing that just like stay still and let things, oh, look at that. Sometimes no is the most boring response. Oh, loving, it says. Sometimes no is the most loving response, but I said boring response. So it feels like people might be like, how are you not freaking out about this? I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. It's like, how are you having fun when everyone else is like really struggling? And it's like, no, it's because we're holding a collective vibration. We're holding things together emotionally, energetically, and maybe even financially for people who really need it. But saying no in this case, I think, is like this collective uprising. Like the most loving thing to do in a corrupt system is to say no and to work to change it. I don't need to find my purpose. My purpose will find me. That's very King of Wands energy. It's like your purpose as a soul is connected to, I'm hearing entrepreneurial pursuits, but I was going to say like holding space for the collective in this way. But entrepreneurial pursuits could be part of this because it helps to create, it feels like more capacity for skill-based arts and skill-based, I don't know, I guess like, yeah, just skill-based exchange. Okay, we're going to get one more of these. No. Skill-based exchange? Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna up level collective. I feel that one. You're gonna up level in your finances, and they're preparing you for this as well. Movement. Things are falling away now. The false self can no longer be held. Deep emotions here, held for so long at bay, are now being felt. The mask is being lifted and the facade is falling away piece by piece, making space for the authentic self to come forward and be realized. So this is what they're saying. They're saying like, stay still right now because things are moving and things are falling away. So the more that you expose the authenticity of your aligned service, the more that you are getting the law of fair exchange energetically for that. It's cause and effect. It's like this karma, but positive. And it's bringing in more resources is what I'm hearing. So collective, get ready to open up your pocketbooks is what I'm hearing, something about pocketbooks, because there's going to be more resources coming in, especially as you step more into service, leadership roles, entrepreneurship, just being more autonomous or more independent financially. That's what I'm seeing here. And that's what's going to help you move beyond the fear, especially if you have childhood fears around security, being seen, trusting yourself to make decisions, like moving out of limiting mindsets. I'm seeing like recovery from like trauma and traumatic experiences, especially to do with security in any shape or form. And then being able to step into this much larger role, maybe even in partnership and groups too, like foundations of people are going to step up and help in the recovery process and in the, I'm hearing decimation. Wow. But there's going to be a lot of people who are working to help ease things a bit, and it's not going to be as damaging, but Spirit wants us to know that we need to not go into fear when things start falling away. And it's going to happen like a little bit at a time. And they're showing me that the rumblings are starting now. The disturbance in the force is already being felt by a lot of people. People are starting to question things and take a look at what's going on. And then in the next 10 to 20 years or so, there's going to be pebbles that start this avalanche. And then the avalanche comes down. And that false mask falls away. Some people are going to get buried under that, like some people who refuse to take off the false mask or to step away from the enslavement system. I'm hearing time crunch, stepping away from that time-based vital force energy exchange. Like it was very vampiric, that system. And those who cling to it or those who have benefited in a disproportionate way from that. So I'm seeing like very like dysfunctional or psychopathic CEOs, of like mega corporations, billionaires who hoard money and starve the masses and things like that. Like this huge disparity. Now they're showing me the Hunger Games, you know, like the Capitol and how it's like ridiculous and lavish and everyone's so bizarre looking. And then there's like the normal people who are out in squalor in these different sectors. It's like it's going to start getting like that. I mean, it already is, in my opinion, but it's going to get worse. And people are going to start really being like, no, this is not okay. Then they're showing me groups of people stepping up to take charge, to lead protests, to start foundations. I'm hearing something about fundraisers for people instead of turning to government for public aid. It's going to be about like crowdfunding. I mean, that we're already seeing that in like the last 10, 20 years. That's already started to really gain momentum. And it's sad that that's the case, but like this is how the system changes, or this is how the structure falls, is that the people cannot rely on the people who have been in charge anymore. Like the worker bees can't rely on the king or it's not the queen. They can't rely on the king. There's no king bee, but you know what I mean. And there's something about drones as well. It's like there's drones. The worker bees are seen as drones, automatons. And I think a lot of people are going to be waking up. A lot of people are going to be shaken rudely awake. And it's going to be like collectively challenging to watch. There's going to be a lot of panic and disorder and disarray, but they're telling me like this is part of the plan because humanity needs to change. It's fundamentally broken right now. Like not humanity, but like, well, yeah, actually, yeah, I could say humanity, but the culture, the systems, the structures, the things that globally are, they're telling me something about fortified and fortification. But I was going to say, it's like globally, the way that the world just tends to run. They're showing me UNICEF. UNICEF? Is that still even a thing? I remember that from when I was a kid. Like the little boxes and they'd take donations. And they're saying buried under a landslide again. What is the collective? What are the collective that are drawn to this video meant to know about this, if anything? Like other than to hold space and to be in that law of unity and to see it from this higher perspective and not to go into fear and to know that they're protected through this financially, or that they're going to be okay. Okay, they're showing me people like moving into, not all people, but they're showing me like a mass amount of people retreating into more like communal living, or like almost like going back to the way like smaller towns used to function as like little sub units, like cellular clumps in a system instead of like massive cities. Yeah, they're showing me people exiting the cities because the mega corporations they can't hire. There's going to be mass layoffs. I was actually getting synchronicities about that. Earlier this week, they said, show them. Okay, hold on. I got to go get my book. It's outside. Where is it? I just got to find it. There. Getting laid off. Getting fired. People will be losing their jobs as families downsize. And I was like, question mark? What do you mean families downsize? And they said people not wanting to settle for the old system or what doesn't work anymore. Settling also makes me think of like settlers, like pioneers branching off from the main society or culture and going and kind of like homesteading almost, it kind of feels like that. And I think that's already begun to happen too. But I think there's going to be like this back to basics type of thing where it's more, there's like money is still going to be used as an exchange. It's not going to go away entirely. That's what they're showing me. But it's the structure of how we earn money is going to change. Oh, that's why I had a client session recently and there was something coming through about earn money. And they were really highlighting that for me. And then I didn't really know, was it like a self-worth thing? Like you feel like you have to earn it? Or was it, I mean, that could be because we had that childhood energy. Like maybe that's something, is like you have to earn your keep, or you can't just have, oh yeah, they're telling me again, basic income. Or there's just going to be more like the basic needs are going to be met so that there's more room to focus on skill building or tasks that need to be accomplished or community-oriented support systems or to give back in some way. I'm just seeing people like helping other people. They're showing me people building houses together right now. It's almost like, it's giving me sort of like Amish vibes. Living in an Amish paradise. Sorry, I needed to bring a little bit of fun to the reading because this is a really serious collective reading. Like this is kind of scary, but it's going to be okay. I'm feeling that from spirit. Like it's going to be okay. You're not going to feel it. Like those of us who are in this community are being prepared. And we're going to be able to make adjustments slowly over a number of years or decades, right? It's not going to be like all at once. Although they did just say everything everywhere all at once. Okay, they're telling me more about this. They're saying that it's going to happen slowly and then all at once. Didn't they say that earlier? I forget when I'm channeling. But there's warning signs. Those who have eyes to see, they're telling me, those who have eyes to see will see and be prepared. And they're telling me, trust your intuition. Any business changes or structural changes to your work or anything that's happening to you or that you are implementing, that's all aligned to the restructuring that will be happening further on down the line. And by the time everything goes to shit or goes to hell, the foundations of this new structure will already have started to be laid because it was like people were already fed up. And it will just be like the major things that then need to be reworked, being revised, I guess. Anything? Yeah, they said fireside story dice. Okay. Fireside story dice. Haven't used these in a while, but let's get them. See. They're just fun. Oh, great. We got like this like nuclear explosion. Don't worry, they said. Don't worry, that's not literal. Right away, they said that so loud in my head because immediately my thoughts were like, uh-oh, is this like nuclear? No. They said, squash those fears. Everything's going to be okay. We have these two happy faces. Oops, sorry, I think it was that one. Two happy faces. Everything's going to be okay. Needs provided for. Pets and animals will be provided for, taken care of. But I'm also seeing this as like a guard dog, kind of warning you. Spirit will warn everyone who needs to adjust or shift. I heard permanent vacation when I saw the palm tree. Permanent vacation. So, and they're bringing me back to $100,000 and the 10 of Pentacles and Hermit. This could be like living on an island or like buying an island. Some people who have been sitting on all the money and like keeping it for themselves, but the house is here too. Something about working from home. But the people who have been sitting on all this money and not sharing it or not helping to save the collective from this downfall, they're going to lose everything. And the people who have nothing will start to have a lot more than they've ever dreamed possible. So it's like a shifting of power. Oh yeah, the law of exchange. They said it again. That's why it's balancing out. So this is actually a really good thing. I heard play ball and then they showed me the baseball. Game time, games on. And now they're playing the Take Me Out to the Ball Game song. You're just meant to watch the show, collective. We're just meant to watch the show. So I can help them. So somehow like just watching what's going down is helpful. They said there's got to be butts in those seats. Why? And then they took me to this, the like party whatever confetti thingy and the happy faces. And they were like, because if you get into this vibration of love, if you get into this high vibration of successful energy exchange rather than the pain. If you get into the energy of trust and faith and joy, then the explosion becomes like fireworks instead. And it's like somehow beautiful to behold. That's what they're telling me. Okay, we've got the picnic bench or like park bench. Picnic bench, yeah. I'm seeing communities gathering and coming together and eating together. I think that's a good thing because our society, especially in Western culture, has gotten increasingly more isolationist, like the hermit energy. And that independency under capitalism has been damaging to mental health, to support networks, to security, finance. Like having to be so hyper independent makes you have to work 10 times harder to be able to make a living, to do all of the things that you need to do. And then you're so tired because you have to do all of the household tasks and the work and everything that normally would have been done either by a family or by an extended family or by a community. It's just too much for one person to be able to do. And that's why we're kind of like going back to the way things used to be, but in an advanced, more futuristic way. You know, it's like taking the old structure and kind of building off of that, but improving it for what works best in the 21st century. Cutting out the old, I'm actually hearing trimming the fat. Yeah, so simplify, trimming the fat, meaning getting rid of anything unnecessary that you don't need. Paring down, getting back to basics. Removing layers of the false self. Yeah, cutting away the false self individually and collectively. Oh yeah, the ball game, like, buy me some wieners and cracker jacks. I don't, something. How does the rest of it go? I don't care if I ever come back. And communication, people are going to be speaking out. I'm hearing prophets. I'm hearing the word prophets. And they're showing me people with megaphones. Yeah, so there's going to be like protests, but also prophets who are proselytizing about this, or like the end is nigh. No, but it's not like that. It's not like that. And it's not anything to be afraid of. And then we have the bear. That's so random, but when I held the bear up, I heard cheat sheet. What is that about? They said synchronicity. Like a synchronicity that I've heard, or that the collective or the people who are watching have heard. They said they will know it when they see it. That's what I heard. They will know it when they see it. Okay, so collective. Something about a bear and something about cheat sheet. And you'll know it when you see it. I don't know. Write that down or just save it for later. Put it in your back pocket. Put it in the back of your mind. Something about that is going to become relevant later. Oh yeah, on the side of this, we got the chicken and the egg. They said the chicken and the egg problem will be solved. You'll get to the root of the issue. Because there was a looping cycle here. And humanity was just getting more and more distorted and deceived and enslaved. And they're showing me the 1940s or 50s? They're telling me from the 40s to the 60s. Wasn't the 1930s, like mid to late 1930s, wasn't that where the Depression was? I can't remember my history very well. Oh, they did just say education reform. Food network changes. This is like fundamental structural changes in the next like 20 years. Now they're showing me 40 years down the line. Entirely different. Like the whole structure of society is completely turned on its head. It's the opposite of what it is now. It's all community based. I'm hearing the word leverage. There's like leverage. Everything's easier to do. No, they're telling me communities leverage support. And it's more, they're telling me something about opportunity based. It's more opportunity based. What does that mean? Yeah, they're telling me self-governed. So communities individually are more self-governed. Okay. And they run autonomously. That's what it's kind of like off-grid, but like there's huge communities of people living off-grid. It almost reminds me of like tribal. But There's still technology. Things are still connected. Money is still in flow. There's a government, but it's disbanded, is what they're telling me. The government is disbanded. Power to the people, I heard. And now they're saying, vive la révolution. Like, what? They're showing me Napoleon. Maybe that's a reference to the French Revolution. That's definitely a reference to the French Revolution. Again, my history, not great. Math and history were not my strong suits in school. I was English, art, and science. For some reason, those were the things I was good at. Spirituality rise to fame. I'm hearing spirituality rise to fame, or it's like spirituality rises. It becomes something about a household name. And they're showing me door lintels. They're showing me like the framing around doors. What is that about? Why? They're taking me to the Hermit card, and they're like, look at something about the structure of the square, or like the angles. Maybe something about like blessings on the door lintels. Is that like an ancient tradition or something somewhere? Something about blessing the door lintels, protecting the home. Oh my God, they're reminding me that we had sage and salt cards. Household blessings become the norm. Protecting your home energetically. So spirituality becomes like a foundation upon which humanity can rebuild itself. Because it's not about spirituality as in like new age spirituality and all like the hoopla. It's the law of one. That's it. Like that's it. It's just the law of one. We're all one. Nothing is separate. I'm hearing love thy neighbor as what is that from the Bible? Something? Yeah, love thy neighbor. And I'm hearing covet thy wife. And then they showed me the 7 of Swords, and they were like people who have cheated the system or who have gone against like the principles of the universal laws. They're going to be paying the price. Oh yeah, cheat sheet. Cheaters. Yeah, do not covet thy neighbor's wife, but it's like they were coveting thy neighbor's money or something, you know what I mean? Like, and people are finally standing up and being like, no more of that. We're done with that. The barking dogs and the prophets and the proselytizers or whatever, they speak up. I say no more. We're cutting out the bullshit. Wow. Okay. I think that's it, collective. I think that's the message that wanted to come through. Really intense. Was not expecting that when I sat down to do this, but they did give me clues. They did say, they gave me that synchronicity that I wrote a while ago. So yeah, take what resonates, leave the rest. Do not use this to fearmonger. Do not use this to panic. That's not the energy to be in here. This is a very positive, proactive warning. Okay, that's what they're saying. And there's going to be resources for the many coming from the few. Everybody's going to get a seat at the table, and everybody's going to eat, including you. All right, collective, I'm sending you guys all so much love and protection. Sage your space, salt your doorway or lintel or whatever, and know that you're protected. I'm sending you so much love and grace and power and protection and autonomy in these times of massive revolution. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.